Heidi ho neighbors, RadoVlog here. Doing it again. Thinking of a way to introduce besides doing it again, even though that was what I said the last time. But yeah, you might have noticed, if you keep up with this sort of crap, the lack of videos as of late. Yeah, there's been quite a bit going on as far as, well, I mean, there hasn't been really much going on as far as like new developments in real life and stuff like that. Hence, that's one of the things I'm actually going to be kind of getting to, sorta-ish. As you can tell, I'm clean-shaven today because I actually shaved. And for whatever reason, you know how people sometimes have like epiphanies in the shower and whatnot? I mean, I do as well, but usually when I shave, that's sort of kind of the thing where I really reflect on things and, you know, oh, I've got a plan now and all this stuff. And I've been thinking about, you know, the situation with the videos lately, because as you might have noticed, I just put up the last part that I had of LEGO Avengers a few minutes ago. Well, actually, it was quite a bit ago because the PS4, I think, has some extra processing that goes into it when it uploads, but I digress. But before that, there wasn't, like, anything since, like, Monday or Tuesday. If you've watched that part, I don't think anybody's watched this part at the point when I'm recording this, but you might have noticed that I said at the end I was going to do some more recording the next day, which was Sunday, Easter Sunday, and I was at my parents' house, and I didn't do any more recording after I got home. I just kind of went home and then did what I normally do when I get home from stuff, which is just, like, not do anything. But while I was shaving today, I was, you know, thinking about, like, the whole situation here, you know, and, like, where am I going wrong with this? Because this is not how I envisioned this happening, you know, me getting lazy and all that. And this has happened way too often with me, where this sort of thing hits, and then I'm not posting videos for 3 years. I mean, granted, the first few times that I've had long breaks from Let's Playing, it's been because of computer problems. But the last major one was because I just couldn't bring myself to do anything. But I'm, you know, supposed to be opening a new leaf on this, and I know that I'm not going to be popular overnight. I've only been doing this again for maybe a month or two. And it's just I gotta, you know, get my break in at some point, my lucky break, where somebody notices or I get enough people watching to, you know, of course, more things are going to have to be put into it because I'm still in I'm still in a process of saving up money for things like a new computer, which I'll get to in a second, and other things like a capture card and a camcorder and stuff like that. The main thing, and I do want to kind of go over, you know, what my thought process was today when I was thinking about, okay, what the fuck is going on and how are we going to resolve this. I did outline a lot of the problems I've been having in the first video of my last session with Lego Marvel, which was on the one I posted last Saturday. But if you haven't watched that, the main problem I'm having right now is, shock of all shocks, surprise of surprises, this is my surprised face, computer problems again. And I know, like I said, the first 2 hiatuses I've had, the first 2 or 3 hiatuses I've had have been due to computer problems, so this is not something new. Although the computer problems had stopped since I started using this computer, which technically isn't mine, it's my friend's, that he's been letting me indefinitely borrow because he used it, and then he got a desktop, or he used it for, like, his main, bleh, I can't talk. He used it as his main computer for, like, the longest time, and then he got a better desktop, which he uses all the time now. When he got that desktop a few years ago, he's like, okay, you can use my laptop to do things like Let's Playing and whatnot. It's because we all know that the one that you have is a piece of shit and isn't working. And I didn't have any problems with this until fairly recently. And I think and I may just be speculating or whatnot, but it's because of Windows 10. Now, I don't want Windows 10. I did not plan on getting Windows 10. Windows 7 suits me just fine. But Microsoft seems hell-bent on everybody having Windows 10 who doesn't have it already. You know, at first it's like every OS, you know, you pay for it and you install it, but they're trying to integrate everything into that, like trying to, you know, integrate Xbox One and everything into Windows 10, and everyone's got to have this, and it's got all this cool stuff on it. But there are some people that aren't biting. And that now they're like, oh, well, now you can upgrade for free or whatever the fuck. And it's gotten to a point where, well, I mean, it's been at this point, but it gotten to a point where they started pre-installing Windows 10 on people's computers without their consent. And I don't know if they're still doing this. I don't know if this happened to me, but I've been coming up with memory errors a lot lately, like memory blue screens, like kicking me off the computer whenever I try to upload videos. And it's only really when I try to upload videos, I think. I mean, I barely use the computer as it was. The only thing I was really using it, even before I was, you know, I got back into with Squeeze the World, you know, naming the Let's Play series now. Even before I was using that to upload Fatal Frame episodes from the flash drive, I didn't really use it. All I really used it for was Facebook. I can't really think of anything computer related I would have needed to do. I know that I have an Alpha Smart word processor unit that I used sometimes to transfer documents over onto the computer. So that was a thing, but other than that, I mean, because I stopped using Notepad once I got that. The only other thing I can think of that I was doing was what was it? The Pokemon trading card game online flash game thing. I had been using that because I do get Pokemon cards from time to time, and they come with the little code cards that you put in, you get free booster packs and stuff, and I've been basically burning those off so I can throw them away because I don't want to waste them. But I don't really play it online. I'm not a casual player of the game. Even if I do play the game, I mainly kind of want to get, like, you know, good enough decks other than starter decks before I actually start playing with any level of seriousness. And even then, it's just going to be for fun with friends if I, you know, ever find friends who I can play regularly with. I do have friends that can play, that have cards, but that isn't really their main thing, you know. But I have, like, a whole backlog of these cards still, and I've just got to a point where, fuck it, I don't play the online thing. I'm just going to, like, not do anything with these cards. I don't want to throw them away. I don't want to waste them, so if anybody wants some frickin' Pokemon trading card game code cards and I know them and stuff like that, I don't think I have the capabilities too much of, like, mailing them out all over the country, but if you're someone I know on Facebook who's watching this or something, and you want some code cards, you can have them. I don't care. But that's all I was using the computer for, but I started using it quite a bit more that when I was bringing the flash drives home from Greg's to upload Fatal Frame, and it got to a point where halfway through uploading a video or so, it would blue screen and restart the computer because of running out of memory. But then when I I could resume the upload by uploading it again, and it would resume what was there, and then everything would be hunky-dory. And then Firefox got an update, and from there it was just that I had one video of Fatal Frame left to upload. One that I had to upload, and then I would have been ready to bring in the rest of them, because I had it scheduled out so that I would run out of Fatal Frame episodes, and then, like, the next day or that night I would go to Greg's and we would record more Fatal Frame, put it on the flash drive, and then we would have enough Fatal Frame and LEGO Avengers for the week. And I had one part left, and I couldn't upload it because every time I started to upload, it would blue screen out. And eventually I was just like, fuck this, and I gave the flash drive back to Greg. It's technically his flash drive, and I said, you can just upload this on your channel. We're putting Fatal Frame on hold for now until I can get this computer thing sussed out. And the thing with the computer is going to be, but when I do get a computer eventually, I am going to get a not necessarily a top of the line one, but a decent one, and that does mean I'm going to have to save up money. And I have started saving up money for the channel. I've severely limited the amount of money I spend on, of course I have to, set money aside for rent and groceries and important things I need to live. But stuff like video games and comic books and stuff that I really don't need as much, I've basically limited myself to $100 a paycheck. And I don't really pre-order games anymore unless it's a specific situation where I really, really want the thing that comes with the pre-order bonus for some reason, or it's a game that I know that it's going to be hard to find later on. And I do still have a few pre-orders left over that I'm just holding on to those because the game stores I go to, I don't want to take, because if you take away pre-orders, that reflects badly on them, and I don't want to do that. But the thing is with that, I haven't pre-ordered any additional games, and over the holidays and into February, pretty much, I had a hard time with money because I pretty much ran out of money over the holidays. I normally do budget it out, but the weeks around Christmas, I didn't budget it out because I just didn't think to. And by MagFest, I had no money. I didn't really have much money. I mean, I had to tell my roommate, hey, I gotta, because I'm a sublet, so I pay my rent to my roommate, who then pays his part of the rent and my part of the rent to the landlady. And there have been a couple of months, at least 2 or 3, where I've had to say, hey, I'm going to be late with the rent this week because if I pay you the rent now, I'm not going to have any money. And then my parents helped me out with some money, so I'm pretty much back at a point where, because I got a hospital bill I'm paying off too. That's a whole other story. I don't know if I talked about it already, but I don't feel like going into detail. That I'm basically, I only have a few months off to pay that off. So that's almost $700 for rent, because I also I pay $680, which is my rent, and also my part of the rent and also my part of the utilities. So that's all in one lump sum that I give them every month. And I also pay a little less than $170 to the hospital every month. So that's quite a bit of money every month, and that all is within because rent's due within the first 5 days of the month, and the hospital bill is due by the 15th of the month. And so that means the second paycheck of the month, I pretty much have, I'm getting to a point where I'm divvying everything out, and I'm starting to save the rest, and that's going to take a while before I can actually get a decent computer. So Fatal Frame might be out for a while. So not only that, but I would also have been using the computer to do games like Baldur's Gate, which I haven't gotten back to yet, as well as other games that I've been using an emulator for. But also that does really severely limit what I can do with Let's Playing, because I'm limited to using the share function on the PS4, and that's pretty much all I can do. That doesn't mean I'm going to stop doing that. I'm still very determined to make this work as best I can. So I'm still going to be recording just a whole week's worth of LEGO Avengers to go up on my channel. I just got to, I'm pretty much going to be doing that once I'm done doing with whatever I'm doing here, recording this blog, and then I have something else I have to do real quick. But once that's done, I'm going to be recording at least a week's worth of LEGO Marvel Avengers episodes. Because no Fatal Frame to go in between until I get a new computer, which may take a while. The other game, of course, we're playing is Life is Strange, if you've been keeping up with that. But that's, again, going up on Greg's channel, and that's all at his discretion. So I think he only has the first 5 parts up now. We have at least 8 or 9 parts. I think he has 1 part left from our initial... Our initial session. He has one. He said he had 1 video left of that part to go, and then he has, and then we got 3 or 4 other parts done. 4 parts done last week. But then we also run into situations where if we can't record, because we usually record on Thursday nights, as I've said. But, there will come times, and there have come times where we can't get together for, one reason or another. And it's not, then these are, important reasons. I'm not blaming anybody for this. Like this past week, we haven't been able to get together because it's not really my place to say but it had to do with family. So I'm not, like I said, it's not my place to say really what the details of that. I'm not going to. But it was very important family stuff, and I totally understand, because family is more important than this. And I do consider Greg to be my family. He's been my best friend for 17, 18 years now. And he's got a family of his own, and if his family, needs to do, then he needs to stop and do his family, that's more important. And I completely understand that. So, like I said, the Life is Strange is still at his discretion, and he's got a whole bunch of parts to still put up. But, it's kind of more infrequent thing. He isn't as overly super serious at this because, he's got other things where he's making money on right now, which is fine. I'm the only one who really wants to make a living off of this. He's mainly doing it because it's fun. And it's fun for me too, but I digress. But some of the problems that I've been thinking of, I really haven't been into Lego Avengers as much as I thought I was going to. Don't get me wrong, it's a good game. I love Lego games, and this is no exception. I think it's just the way that it saves is one thing. Like, I can't just do a save state or anything like that. And there's also the difficulty with spacing it out with the 15-minute time limit on recording with the share function on the PS4. And that's why you've seen a lot of, 2-minute tie-in videos that will go with the previous part, because we're in the middle of a cutscene, and we can't exactly... we can just pause... when you go to the share menu, it just pauses the screen or whatever. And when you get right back to it, it'll immediately start playing the cutscene again. So that's not an issue. But it feels a little bit more segmented, and Lego games are more things that I like to play more in one sitting, rather than just one thing at a time, 15 minutes at a time or whatever. But I'm also really distracted because I'm playing it blind, and I don't think that I'm going to be doing any more blind Let's Plays after this. I'm still going to be going through with Lego Marvel Avengers because it's I started it, and I do, despite the fact that I still haven't finished the 3 Let's Plays that I started way back in 2013, or even in 2010 in the case of Baldur's Gate, I still haven't finished those. I do usually intend to finish things that I start, if not start them over or something like that. But I do intend on finishing the Let's Play of Lego Marvel Avengers, because, it's fun, and I do want to finish it, but with the fact that it's blind, and the fact that I'm still trying to get caught up on the source material. I haven't watched any of the movies and stuff still at this point. I do plan on going through and watching, the movies and all the TV shows and stuff at the very least the movie. Just, going back and watching them all in order. I did watch Thor Dark World recently because it came on TV. When I was at my parents' house at Easter, we were watching Thor Dark World. But, actually intently going through and watching the whole continuity, because continuity is a very important thing to me with these kind of things. That hasn't happened. And I'm just, kind of watching the cutscenes intently to see what's going on, and I'm kind of distracted with trying to figure out puzzles, and there hasn't been a whole lot of big things going on in my life to really talk about. Usually when I get to, when I'm playing a game that I already know what I'm doing, my mind is free to just talk about any subject, but when I'm playing blind, it really doesn't work that way, I guess you could say. So, probably no more blind LPs if I can help it, but I am still going to finish this one at the very least. But that's... They're not really difficulties, other than the whole computer thing. That's just nothing I can do about that right now until I can get a new computer, because fuck that. But like I said, I'll you know, I'm pretty much limited to what I can play on the PS4, and because I'm limited to the PS4 at this moment. And but you know, I will, like I said, I'll finish Lego Avengers, and we'll figure out where to go from there. But I do intend on finishing that, and I'm not going to. I think I might be getting a little burned out because a lot of times when if I play the same game, just like kind of in that sort of pattern where not necessarily all at once, but like in spurts like that, I kind of want to move on to a different thing or do something additional. But I don't want to do that here because all of the times where I've started playing a second game, it's worked out okay. But then, you know, I'm going to want to put in a third game, and then they're all RPGs, and then I get burned out again, then I'm not recording for 3 years. And I really kind of want to do I mean, other than the things with Greg, because the things with Greg they're not really different. They're still part of the same series and everything, but they're different from what I'm doing solo-ish. Like, I don't know. I mean, blind games are okay when I'm playing with someone else because we have a lot more to talk about, and it seems a little bit more natural to talk about stuff like that. But when I'm doing things blind on my own, there's just a lot of silence and dead air, and I want to kind of avoid that. But at the same time, I think it'll be better when I get to free play mode in Avengers, because there's a lot less story going on. There really isn't any story going on. It's just random races and side quests to get gold bricks. But that's usually the more fun part of the game in any case, because you can just be whatever character you want and stuff like that. But as far as the story is concerned, I, you know, intently watching to see what's going on, and I gotta, you know, think about how to proceed. And I'm also still grasping at straws to find out what to talk about, because not much is going on in my life right now. So that's where I'm running into a little bit of difficulties. But I'm going to soldier on with this. I'm not going to, you know, take another 3-year hiatus just because I'm bored. This is something that I really want to make work. And if I don't make it work, then my dreams can't come true. So I'm sticking with it. You know, it's really weird that something like shaving is something that really gets me more motivated than anything else. And I really should be shaving every day, but I don't because I get lazy. Like, I mean, today was the first time I went to the grocery store. I mean, I would have gone on Friday, but stuff came up. But this is the first time I've been to the grocery store in like a couple months. So I have food and stuff, and I, you know, feel a bit better off because of that. And I still have to do my taxes, but, you know, that doesn't take too long. And I don't know why I haven't done it yet. It's just I kind of alternate with taxes, you know, getting them done really close to the due date, or getting them done like a month before. It usually kind of alternates, and I'm kind of in one of my lower years, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, I'm still determined to make this work, and I really have to kick myself in the ass and keep with it, because I can't be getting lazy like this. And that's one of my failings, I know, but I'm not going to make any excuses for that, and I'm not going to let that own me, and I'm just going to, you know, keep going on with this. And sometimes it takes something like blog. I should probably do more blogs, because that'll keep me in the spirit of things. I probably should shave more, because that'll keep me in thought. And I will admit, it is a little bit harder to do this kind of thing if you're working 40 hours a week, but damn it, if other people can do it, then I can too. And that's all I got to say about that. It's not like I've got too much else going on in my life right now. I've been RadoGoji, and I'll be here next time. Join me, won't you?